The Oregon tight ends had almost 1,000 receiving yards in 2024, 996 to be specific. Kenyon Sadiq is the one key contributor that returns, and they add one transfer in Jamari Johnson from Louisville. I think that Kenyon Sadiq is the best in America. If you think it's Max Clare, I think there's an argument for him too. I think it's very close, very close. I just happened to side with Kenyon Sadiq. Backup last year behind Terrence Ferguson, and oh man, did he flash in some key moments. He looked like a super athletic alien Terminator wide receiver in that Big Ten championship game against Penn State, where he had that one touchdown where he caught it, was fast, was open in space, and then hurdled a defensive back to walk into the end zone. Was absolutely phenomenal last year. He had 308 receiving yards, averaged 12.8 yards per reception, had 2 touchdowns with an 80.4 PFF grade. Jamari Johnson, an 80.6 PFF grade, 158 receiving yards, 12.2 yards per reception, and 1 receiving touchdown. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership, or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. Oh, the Louisville Cardinals, get an 80.6 BFF grade. Both are 6'3", and 240 pounds or bigger. Sadiq last year was 6'3", 245 pounds. Jamari Johnson last year was 6'5", 257 pounds. So the athleticism is elite. That's the impact here. And it's helpful to Oregon because these two are great pass catchers, especially Sadiq. And then you look at the injuries that Oregon has dealt with, really the injury to Evan Stewart at wide receiver. And I think that Stein and Moore will utilize the tight ends more than they initially planned. They will utilize them to a greater degree than they probably expected in the winter months. Although Brycen Moore has come along nicely, is going to be a starter. I think he's going to be an All-American, Brycen Moore. I'm that high on him. And I think that Oregon believed that he was going to be a key contributor as a freshman. And I thought pretty early in the 2025 preseason that he was going to be a key contributor. However, he's just one player. And outside of him, they don't have a lot of proven commodities at the receiver position, including, tight end, like factoring that in. They have a lot of wide receivers who are unknown, unproven players right now. So Sadiq and Johnson help with that. And Oregon's schedule lines up, I think, just as well as last year in some regard. It's not quite as advantageous. Not quite. I think that traveling to Penn State is going to be a much harder road trip than anything they faced last year. It could be the same with Iowa because Michigan was so limited on offense last year and Martindale hadn't quite figured out the defense yet, to where as long as Oregon was able to score a few points and just be competent on offense, that they were going to be successful. And then Iowa this year, they could reload on defense and be great there. It's in November in Kinnick. Iowa gets a bye. Oregon does too, but that bye is going to be helpful to Iowa. And Iowa will probably have a much better offense this year than Michigan did last year. You have Washington on the road. Washington could be a better team than anyone Oregon played on the road last season. Rutgers could be a similar caliber team to Wisconsin last year, and that was almost a loss. The good news is I don't think any of these linebacker groups outside of maybe Penn State's can really do all that much against these tight ends. Same with the safeties. And even then, we saw Sadiq get the best of the Penn State defense last year. Jim Knowles and that unit should improve because of Knowles and their returning production, but Sadiq comes back, and Stein comes back. So I'd expect tight end this year for Oregon, even with the loss of Ferguson, with Johnson coming in, Sadiq having another year, they should be better there. They should completely reload at the tight end position, and it should help them win football games this year. I mean, when you have the size, the athleticism, the natural talent, and then on top of that, a schemer in Will Stein, who is one of the best in America, a talented quarterback in Dante Moore, and an offensive line that at least for the start of the year should help carry the load of the offense some. Depth for the offensive line isn't amazing, but it's not for really anyone, I would say, in America right now, except for probably Notre Dame and Penn State. I love this unit. I do. I think that this is a unit that will actually win Oregon some games, because I do think Oregon will be engaged in close games this year, much like last year. I, as I've said before, do not think they'll beat Penn State, but I do think some of those road games against Rutgers or Iowa or Washington, or I could see USC late in November being a close game. I could see Wisconsin or Indiana, since it's October, not quite November. Maybe it's taking a little bit more time for this team to figure themselves out than anticipated. I could see close games being played all across this schedule, even some of them at home. And the tight ends will help this team win most, if not all of those, and then pull away when they need to. Oregon is very fortunate, very blessed, and should give themselves, to a certain degree, a little bit of a pat on the back for getting a player like Kenyon Sadiq, and then also earning the commitment of Jamari Johnson in the transfer portal. This is a very impactful room. I think it's the best tight end room in America. If not, if you want to argue that, say, Ohio State's is better, or that Georgia, with all they bring back, is better, or maybe that Texas's Jack Endries is just going to have a breakout year and be phenomenal, I'll hear it. But as of right now, I would side with Oregon to take that step and to have the best tight end group, at least key contributing tight end group in America. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description, join the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.